Okay. So we'll just start the AMA off, and we'll go kind of the same way we've been doing it the last few weeks. We'll just answer questions. Today we're giving access to the marketplace. It is the beta,
But it's on mainnet. It's like the live version of the marketplace. Just so, like, if anybody goes on there and lists something for a ridiculous price and sells it, like, it will sell out of your real wallet. Or if you buy something for a ridiculous price, same.
yep. So the link is in the pre-AMA, and Tyler sent the password and username. I'll resend the link one more time, just so everyone here has it. We'll just copy and paste that. I don't know why I didn't post as a link, but that's the link. Okay, so we're gonna run back up to the top and answer these questions. James F asked, he was kind of trying to understand when we were going to be able to use the marketplace. We were really hoping it was going to be a few days ago, but essentially it's today. We're giving access to everyone today. We feel it's in a right place to let the community start also trying to start and use it. I think we've smoothed out the majority of all the bugs. All the contracts are working as designed, and we've just had a few things we need to work on. Essentially, one of them is not all of the NFTs are showing up. Our backend scraper is still catching up. It essentially has to scrape the entire blockchain over the last 6 and 7 years. And there's a lot of NFTs that it's scraping, and it's scraping basically a lot of the new NFTs and going back in time at the same time. So some of your older NFTs probably aren't showing up. Some of the newer ones are. We're trying to go in and load as many NFT collections as we can that we know people are interested in right away, so we can prioritize them in the queue. We've already prioritized the top like 230 all-time collections. So far that's honestly what we have, but we feel like we have a beta that is in a good enough shape that everyone can start using this and can start putting listings and buying NFTs on there. But we wanted to give early access to the people who joined this AMA today, because we appreciate everyone who joins our AMAs.
On the scraper, Mark, I wanna say that the old NFTs that are in the top 200 all should be showing up. Any ones that aren't in
True, but I can't really hear you.
Can't hear me? Okay, I was just saying on the data scraper, if you see NFTs that you think should be in the top 200 and aren't showing up, let us know and we'll try to deal with that as quickly as we can. And then for other collections, we can have DAO votes through Snapshot to kind of get added in very quickly. And otherwise, like all new collections deployed will be going forward, and we'll still be scraping the chain going back. But I know people want to get certain collections listed, so I think going through a Snapshot vote is going to be the best way to do that.
Yeah, and essentially we didn't want to delay over the scraper catching up because, I mean, like, we don't really know how long it will take because there's new NFTs minted every day, and it's just a very hard thing to determine. So
there's a lot of
yeah, a lot of unknown of how long it will actually take to get all of them, and then so we just didn't want to take that extra time because we know people are very interested in being able to use a decentralized alternative.
It will eventually scrape all of them, though.
It'll get there. It'll get there.
Yeah, we'll have every NFT 721 and 1155 scraped, but it will take time. We have to process every single block in the blockchain.
And at that point, it's going to be, at that point, it will be scraping faster than OpenSea.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, like, kind of how this process is going to work from now on, now that the marketplace is out, we're going to be rigorously moving to get the rest of the features that we have written out. We have a ton of different contracts that we have written, and the UI is done. It's just we got to integrate all of these things, and essentially we need to just release in steps. It's just easier to scale everything this way. That way, if something breaks, we'll know what's breaking versus just dropping everything at once. But we do have a lot more to drop. But this is, as bare bones marketplace, at first. But we are going to release all of these features within, 1 to 2 months, have a lot more features and a lot more types. So, like, you'll have bundles listings. You'll be able to add floor bids. Genie's, our gym, is going to be integrating with us very soon. I think they're ready to go. Genie is also going to integrate with us. But we have a lot of other minting contracts and a lot of different. I don't want to drop too much alpha just because I just don't want to give too much alpha on some of these things that we're dropping. But essentially, we have some really awesome, really cool custom minting contracts that people are going to be able to get really, really creative with. So I'll leave it at that. But we are going to add anything that you see grayed out is getting added, and we do have more features that you don't even see in the UI right now. So there's a lot to look forward to. It's just we need to release it in steps. So Resistance has a question, is when new UI for the airdrop? So we have the airdrop UI done. We just haven't implemented it. We were going to do it like a few weeks ago, and then we all got extremely busy with the marketplace. And it's just been the priority, and that's what we have been focused on. So we'll get it launched. I'll try to get it launched next week, but I think the main focus is still going to be on the marketplace, but I'll try to get it up. All we have to really do is publish it, and I just need to talk with Vahan and make sure that everything's up to date and everything's good there, and we should be able to push that live. Okay, and then what is this collection about?
Whoa. Sorry.
This Universe Singularity collection, that was our original, I want to say our second take on our minting contract, but essentially that collection, it's still live. Like, you can go mint to the contracts, but we're not going to let you, like, you can go mint to them from Etherscan, but essentially there was a bug and we needed to fix it, so we just we took the contract off and we fixed the bug and we redeployed. But I mean, like, there's nothing like wrong with those NFTs. It's just we needed to make the fix, and we did. So that, I mean, that's like kind of like a dead collection. I mean, but that was just anyone can mint. That was like the old, like, universe. Anyone can mint to this contract. Like, same way OpenSea has a contract and Rarible has those. Tyler's playing with his InterDAO NFTs. And then he goes in to talk about regarding voting, if voting will be incentivized. I think we've talked about this before. I mean, like, you're incentivized for staking in the DAO. I mean, we don't really incentivize you to vote. If you want to vote, it's up to you. But like, your incentive to vote is wanting to, like, improve the marketplace and improve the DAO. Like, I mean, if you're like holding XYZ for the incentive of, like, being like, oh, I want to vote and be rewarded for it, then I think, like, we just need to think of the mindset as like the incentive is that we get to do, like, we're running companies complete like this. I mean, this isn't a company, but like, we get to have a say in what we all are going to do and build. And I think that's a really awesome incentive. But I mean, we haven't I mean, the team hasn't discussed. I mean, if y'all want to incentivize voting, I mean, the DAO has the ability to go and vote and make that happen. I mean, there's probably some systems we can put in place, but I mean, we have to talk about that as a community.
I mean, everybody can push proposals forward, and if they're smart, we'll support them.
And well thought out with a plan. Like, you gotta have like a plan on where those funds will be coming from. If you want them coming from the things, like perhaps, or like it needs to be well thought out and have like a vision of where we're trying to go with our ethos. Kind of is what I'm trying to say.
All right, I'm just going to skip over this discussion over this because it's just a lot for me to read at the moment. But I'll come back to it and I'll put my input in the Discord. I kind of like this idea of like giving popes for voting. I mean, we can take snapshots after every vote. Yeah, we did take a snapshot after the last vote to launch the marketplace. So, I mean, we've definitely thought about it, but we haven't decided anything. And we did take a snapshot of the vote to launch the marketplace because, I mean, that's what we've all been waiting for. And, I mean, obviously, we're going to do something with that list. And Zach's already dropped popes. But it seems like not everybody got them. So we'll try and figure that out with Pope. It was something to do with their server, and it like wasn't working the day that Zach tried to do it, and it basically rugged Zach. Are there any plans to add additional ERC? Oh, wait a minute. I think I skipped over Taekwon. How many days away before I can upload a comic cover and sell? ERC 1155s. We're going to add ERC 1155s. That's going to be something to come in one of the later iterations of the marketplace. But you know, like we said, we're starting with ERC 721s and some basic marketplace features. But there's a lot more coming. It's done. We just have to scale it out and build it out and make sure. When we're releasing something and adding something, it's not going to break something else. And essentially, we wanted to get something out sooner than later to everybody so they can start using something. But yes, 1155s are coming, and we're going to look at layer 2 assets as well. Any plans to add additional ERC20 tokens as payment options? Yes. We're just starting with USDC, ETH, wrapped ETH, XYZ, and I think DAI. But yeah, we are going to add more. If people want to see tokens get added, we can run that through governance, and we can get any token added that people want. I'm sure people are going to want to see tokens like the Ape Coin get added, but let's make those decisions through governance. People agree, they will. Someone is being loud.
Someone's wilding.
Someone's bawling. A feature request form. Yep, James F. I just tagged Rain on your post, and he added a feature request form in the pre-AMA channel. We can also add that in the announcements channel so that it's a little bit easier for everybody to find.
Shout out to Hal Finney for talking about NFT trading cards back in 1993.
Straight up.
All right, awesome. Can we also post that in announcements just so everyone can? I mean, it's a good announcement.
When Hal Finney comes back from the dead due to cryogenic freezing, he's only going to use Universe.
You heard it here first. Hal Finney is going to use Universe. Do you plan on rewarding activity on the platform to boost its launch? It doesn't look like it, but better to ask. We do have plans, but we have not publicly said what they are.
If we're going to do something, I think it's most likely that we should incentivize listings because, like, I've talked about this in depth, but like OpenSea's monopoly is around their listings. And like if you even look at like where LooksRare is actually getting organic volume, it's from Gem. So like I just think over time with our auctions and minting and a lot of things happening on our platform, it's not going to like be out of the gate that we just catapult in volume, but I think that we're launching now. It's going to be a long time and a lot of work that we just keep pushing it forward.
Oh, I'll lie down this couch for a second over here.
You gotta mute that person.
People. If I mute you, just tell us in the pre-AMA channel if you want to come up and talk.
Universe Singularity is the name of our contract. It's the name we chose for the minting contracts. It was some sort of space thing. I forget exactly why we named it that, but it's like anyone can mint to that contract. Otherwise, you have to create your own collection, and when you create your own collection, you're actually creating your own like minting contract that only you can mint to. So it's actually super dope. A lot of people in the industry were asking for this like a year ago, so we did it, but it took us a little bit. But yeah, it costs a little bit of money to deploy. I mean, when the last time I was looking, I think it was like $150 to $250 to deploy one of those contracts. But then when you're minting to it, it's really like, maybe $30, depending on GUI. But yeah, if you just want to mint directly to that Universe contract, you can. It's essentially just for everyone. It's kind of like the Rareable contract where you can just kind of mint and it's a Rareable NFT. It's not like part of any collection. Okay. Could we add more messaging around the decentralization aspect? I think a lot of people would move their NFTs over if there was some sort of messaging around it.
Well, I think we should is the short answer, but why do you think that it would get people to move over? Because I think that's like how we need to be approaching what the messaging is.
Yeah, I mean, we are looking into making a video explaining how Universe is decentralized. We've already started it, but we are working on the copy and kind of the wording of how we say it is decentralized. But we'll try to release like a 2 to 3 minute video on, all the aspects of how it's decentralized. That's something we've been working on, but one of the people who does those videos for us, his name is Ivan, and he actually lives in Ukraine, and he hasn't been making as many videos right now. He's been able to edit some of them, but we've been giving him a little bit of a break because of what is going on over there, but we have actually. No, yeah, he's still working. It's but we have that other video we're gonna work on, and we have to finish still. But we'll get that out, James F. I like how Gotchi incentivized voting by rewarding in-game XP for participation. Interesting. Send us a link on like how that worked. Yeah, I mean, incentivizing voting is tough. I mean, especially since if we're talking about incentivizing anything, I think it has to be like right now, even more than voting, I think getting listings on the platform are very important. But I mean, that has to be a vote. Will Universe be having a similar token staking mechanism like LooksRare? No, we're not. But I mean, like if the DAO wanted to vote and do something like that, we can decide that through governance as a community. But the team is not going to set anything like that up on our own. But good question. A lot of people ask that. Okay, what about a doc or channel for requested collections? In the Discord, I guess that wouldn't be a bad idea. Honestly, it's kind of a good idea.
I can make another form for that, so it doesn't just get cluttered. Because it'll get
Tyler
cluttered.
said he's gonna make a
Because we can make a super small form that people can just literally send the contract address to, and then we can query it and see if we should add it.
Can we just make a channel and make that form the only thing in there, and people like don't let people type, just leave that form?
Yep, I'll put that. I'll do. Maybe we move like project requests and feature requests to like a channel that's easy to find. Let's see here.
Maybe add a project request.
Here, Tyler just made add a project request right here.
Yeah, do it similarly at Rarible, or they did before.
Okay, sorry for the delay, guys. We're trying to set that up really quick. Okay. Okay. Fluffernutters question. Can I have an option to get paid for my NFT in more than one token? Like list my NFT for 4 ETH or the equivalent of XYZ and can receive a combo. No, you can't, but if you guys want to do that, we can make a contract that allows you to do that.
Would that require new contracts though? That's really a Ryan question.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's kind of tough. I don't know if that's possible. We'd probably have to upgrade the contracts to add that feature. I probably can't answer that question because I don't know if that is possible. I think it's possible, but I don't know if we can just upgrade it willy-nilly like that. But essentially, maybe. It's a good question. Is Ryan here?
Yeah, what's up? Sorry, I'm working on the marketplace.
Fluffernutter asked, is it possible to get paid for an NFT and multiple tokens like if he wanted to get paid 4 ETH, but someone wanted to offer like 2 ETH and then like 20,000 XYZ just to make it simple math. But
the most people we've ever had on one of these AMAs?
I think we can actually support that without a smart contract upgrade using ERC20 bundles. I'd have to look into it, but I think it could be possible.
okay. Well, there's your answer. That's a great question, Fluffernutter.
And if we need, we can always do a DAO vote. So nothing's off the table.
Yep. Okay. James F. asks another question. You all brought up additional functionality for XYZ in the past. What's the plan on that? We've answered this question the last 3 weeks. Like Troy comes up and talks about this. He's not really giving too much information about it, but there is planned utility. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that because I know Troy has kind of answered it that way the last 3 weeks. But yes, we do have plans, and no, we're not going to say it just yet. But when all that stuff is ready, it's going to be badass, and it's definitely going to be.
I mean, I could give a little. So, like the new Graviton website launched, and there's some stuff on there that gives a little bit of an update on some of this. But like, essentially, the token will be mined through a live streaming service, and anyone who contributes GPU power to this system will be able to mine XYZ essentially. I'm going to leave it at that, though. There's also some other stuff we're working on, but like I just cannot talk about it.
Thanks, Troy.
Hey, man, anytime.
Okay. Tyler likes James F. in his ideas. Okay. It looks like we don't have any more. Oh, wait, no. Okay, here's Marklar sending this stuff on Avagachi. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? I mean, it's obviously exciting. We're super close to oh, sick. Navi's coming in here and asking some dope questions. What can the community do to help at Universe succeed the most? For example, like listing migrations. Is it better if we cancel other listings? Okay, so those are all really good questions. So really the best thing that anyone can do for Universe right now is honestly test the marketplace and give us your honest and best feedback. Like we want to hear from you guys and what the community wants. Like we're here to accept criticism. And another thing that anyone can do is really just like tell your friends about us, like retweet, follow us, share that there is a decentralized competitor in the space coming. And we have been building for the last year, and we really wanted to build this thing right. We knew it took longer than we all expected, but a lot of people know about Universe. I think some people just need to be reminded that like it's finally launching, because we have been building this thing for like the last 10 months. And another thing too is exactly what Navi's saying is migrating listings over is probably another way to really help. Tyler mentioned that earlier. OpenSea has quite the monopoly on listings. That's partially why their volume is so crazy. But yeah, I mean, moving listings over, telling your friends, explaining that we're a decentralized alternative. And honestly, just giving your best feedback back to us and how can we improve to help the marketplace and help Universe. I mean, we're here to accept criticism. I heard someone say something. Was someone trying to ask?
let me bounce off you, Mark, on this with the, spreading that we're a DAO and a community and, actually you can participate in it. And I think what would be really helpful is, you guys with collections that aren't showing up, and there's going to be a lot of those at first, and it's going to get better and better, can go in and actually, talk with each other and say which ones do you want to see come in first, and start making proposals. And they will get pulled in really quickly after that. And I think it would be a good community effort and an actionable way to help the marketplace, and bootstrap our data scraper.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point too. I mean, like we all buy a lot of NFTs, but like we don't buy all of them, and we know there's really cool collections that we don't even know about that some people absolutely love and want to have and see in their wallets. So ping us. I think we're adding a channel for collections to be added. Rain is working on that, and we'll be able to prioritize those collections that people care about the most, and then that scraper is going to eventually catch up, and we're going to be able to have all those NFTs available in our wallets.
There's a good question here. Will each collection project need to update their information on each collection? So each project has to update their royalties. That has to be done to get the royalties set up. If you want royalties on a collection that you own, you can go and update the royalties on the collection page. If there is no collection page, you can reach out and we'll help it get all set up. On the side of like collection descriptions and names and all of that, for now you can update them manually on our site. On the marketplace alpha link that has been kind of passed around a little bit, and that will stay on in the prod site. So if you update it now, it'll stay live. We will be pulling in more descriptions and names of collections and images and whatnot. But for now, you'll be able to update them at the very least. And then if you don't like the updates that we pull in the future, you can always change it again.
Yeah, and another, like, we're going to obviously tweet out to have some of the collections try to reach out to us. But another thing that the community can help with too is like if you're very active in a certain Discord, like Doodles or Bored Ape Yacht Club, and like you're talking with the founders of one of those projects, and you're like, hey, Universe is dropping, I can get you in touch with Mark and Ryan or Tyler and message us and link us together with them, because like the Bored Ape team is not easy to get in touch with. But like we don't want collections like that to feel like they got burned because people went and were trading, trading and they hadn't set up their royalties. So a really good way for everyone to come out and help us would be to definitely like chime in your favorite Discords and invite them to our Discord and fill out one of those forums or get them in a chat room with us where we can do our best to guide them to get everything set up. And help all these collections. Okay.
Sorry, I might have skipped over some questions there. Do you know?
Yeah, you did, but it's all good. Is the best way to coordinate marketing strategy making proposals via DAO? I mean, everyone asks about marketing. Like, I don't really like. I mean, like, what do you guys want marketing? Like, you want to do paid Twitter ads? Like, me and Tyler used to run a marketing agency, and like, I don't think that's like we don't think that spending money on like marketing, like doing commercials. I mean, like, yeah, there's TV commercials, but like.
Maybe we can come up with something creative. You can chat in the Discord about it probably at first, and maybe make a forum proposal. And then once there's kind of an idea formulated on exactly what kind of you'd want to do and what kind of budget it's looking like, then you could put that up for a snapshot vote and then an on-chain vote to get the funding source. But off the top of my head, I don't really have any ideas on that front. Just kind of highlighting how you would go about that if that is an avenue you would want to contribute towards. Nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we are expanding our social media range to other platforms outside of Twitter. We have almost 25,000 followers on Twitter. We've never bought a follower. Essentially, organic growth in this industry outpaces trying to pay for clicks, or, you know, if you guys want, we can start promoting our
I've never bought
tweets
a
on
single
Twitter,
thing
but
in crypto based on an ad versus word of mouth. I mean, word of mouth just works better. The best thing I think we can do from a word of mouth perspective as like an effort this week is, I know a lot of people in this Discord and on this AMA are like major fluff fans. So like, if we can get all the fluff people to list everything in the fluff ecosystem, and we can start listing like pretty much, if you have a polymorph for sale on OpenSea, like relist it on Universe. I mean, you only have to approve polymorph contract once, and then for essentially free, you can list all of the thing, like, you know. So let's say you have like 20 polymorphs listed. You're gonna pay like a $9 fee to approve the polymorphs, and then you can list all, like relist all of them again. But I do think that like long term, things like polymorphs and deviants, which are coming, and seekers and party bears and ASM brains and AFA and fluffs and lobsters, like,
we're talking with them.
If we can't win against OpenSea on those projects, then we don't have a lot to build off of. So like, I really think that talking to communities that are close to us and built with us, in a lot of ways we're even legitimized by some of the attachment to us in the early days, where we just rolled up our sleeves and tried to help them. I mean, I personally would like if a lot of those projects return the favor. I can tell their founders that, but I mean, it's a big difference if people in their community are listing on Universe.
And we're talking with those guys. We're super aligned with Aaron and David and that whole ecosystem.
Right, but it's one thing for me to talk to Aaron and David. It's another thing for people who are active in because like, I can't be active in the Fluffs Discord as much as I love Fluffs. I just have a lot of other stuff on my plate. But people who are active in that Discord or active in flipping NFTs, like the best thing that we can do is,
you guys. I'm
even
only one.
if there is no incentivized listings, to try to get people to start listing a lot of things on there.
Personalities. You and Shep.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. Is the Universe Foundation planning to raise more institutional money at some point, or are we done?
Universe doesn't have a foundation. And honestly, I think that if we realize that we're at a good spot in terms of funding at the multi-sig, and I would say that over time, if we want to get more capital in the treasury to compensate people that are working on the project, I think we'll have some pretty creative ways to do it. I think we can pay attention to some of what like happens at the rollout of like Barn Bridge and that DAO. And yeah, we can ultimately just play it by ear. But right now, we're not undercapitalized. We're under talented. Like, we always need more talent. So yeah, if we found good talent right now, we'd hire them. So like, I don't think capital is the issue right now.
James F. asked, how are we moving Fluffs and associated projects over? This is kind of what Tyler was just talking about, but I just thought of something because I'm reading through more questions and Donovan saying some stuff. There's actually a button on the Fluffs website that is view on OpenSea. So maybe we can talk to Aaron about getting that switched from OpenSea to Universe.
I mean, even some of our stuff, like InterDAO sharded mines, we should definitely get to go to.
Well, here's one thing that I've already been talking to about. People are going to want... Okay, well, I'll just drop alpha, because I've already been talking to David and Aaron about this. Essentially, our ecosystem partners like InterDAO, the Fluff Burrows. There's a lot of cool items. Hold on, let me finish this, because this is important. I think people are going to like this. So when you have an ASM brain, you're going to be able to put it in a fluff. You're going to be able to do all this other stuff. But what if we, like, I've already talked to David and I said, like, we can put buttons on the marketplace that's like, put this in another NFT. And then, like, okay, you have your fluff burrow. How about I have a button that brings me directly to my burrow? You know, I don't have to go to the underground and click through all this stuff and go to my burrow. It's like, okay, I have it right here. Boom, click and go there, and then integrate buttons. Like maybe put a swap feature for, and just like make the UI more friendly to those collections. People are gonna want to use them because we can easily just integrate like the underground into our marketplace, and even InterDAO, like being able to rent an asset out of the front end. That's one thing that a lot of people maybe not realize, but any NFT that's minted on Universe contracts is compatible with InterDAO Landworks land renting. And I mean, they call it Landworks, but essentially, like, you can rent any NFT. Like, you could rent out your polymorph for a party or something. You know, it's
which will be really important when it comes to gaming. And one thing I was going to say is I just hired a UI UX person who I'm going to start designing like Figmas of a marketplace, like custom marketplaces for certain projects, and just flipping them to the like founders of those projects. Cause like I don't know their tech stack, so it's not like we can just like code them for them. But if we do get to that point and that's successful, maybe we do just start coding them and open source them and give them out. But realistically, like if Fluffs had a marketplace on their site, like it's most likely going to be Universe because we'll probably help them build that. And I would say same with, you know, Sharded Minds. InterDAO is going to build into it. When we go to Polygon, like League DAO will. And I've even talked to like Fractional, and we could probably do something like that with charged particles. So we probably definitely need to get as many listings as possible, and that is one of the ways that I think will work to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, adding features to, you know, and even we're going to do this to our NFTs. Like you're going to be able to just go scramble your polymorph from the marketplace. I think that.
I mean, like, but that's kind of where the whole finder's fee stuff comes in, though. Like where you can build out like your own interface on top of the marketplace, and that's like the big incentivization because then the front end can also take a cut.
Yeah.
And that's like those type of features, in my opinion, should end up more over on their sites, and then they just plug in essentially almost like plugging into a back end to our marketplace. And that's where that stuff starts to get really, really interesting.
Yeah, just to access liquidity.
Exactly.
Super interesting.
Like Graviton's working on some stuff like that too. So, like some of the applications that are being built will use Universe's marketplace, but there'll be a front end built on top of it, and then Graviton, the company, takes a finder's fee, but everything will be listed on the Universe marketplace, and you'll be able to find it on Universe marketplace, but you'll also be able to find specific specific collection of what it's connected to. I'm not gonna say what that is yet, but it will be listed on the front end of Graviton, right? But it will still be using Universe's marketplace, and there will be like a fee sharing system where that's what that finder's fee is, right? So the collection front end that uses the marketplace's back end, that front end takes a cut, but then the line share goes to the Universe marketplace. So they don't have to build their own like on-chain liquidity system and everything like that. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of how Uniswap works, which is what we've been saying. Like, this is like the Uniswap for NFTs.
Hardware wallet timeline, that is something we're working on like right now. We are trying to get it live like absolutely insanely quick. We are sorry that is buggy, but we're having an issue with the signing on the hardware wallets, even with the MetaMask integrations with Ledger. The devs are working on it like right now, and I mean, in the near foreseeable future, we are going to solve that. But as of right now, we're trying to tweak out some of these last bugs, and get some of these last things working properly. But still, we think that it was in a place that we could at least share this with everyone to come on and also help us test a little bit more. But Rambler, it's coming, man. Can we keep the Google Sheet open for additional feedback? Do we have a Google Sheet open right now? I think it was just the Google form. But yeah, we can leave the Google form open, and like we'll just leave it continuously open. People can come and just continuously, try to add feature requests, and we'll be going through those, and we'll decipher through there, and then we need to kind of maybe come up with an idea of like, maybe if we get so many of the same feature requests, we'll create a snapshot proposal and the community can vote on it. But essentially, like, we're not just gonna like go and upgrade every single feature that someone requests. Like, obviously, if there's bugs, we need to fix the bugs. But like feature requests are gonna be handled a little bit differently than bug requests. Okay. I'm not really sure what Average Mayo Sandwich's question is. He's asking how we would respond to this complaint regarding OpenSea, but I'm not really sure how this is a complaint. His NFT got frozen on OpenSea.
Yeah, I think the question's like, will Universe freeze NFTs if they're reported stolen?
I think that we can freeze NFTs, but we can pull them off of our front-end interface.
Yeah.
So like, we're not gonna freeze any NFTs. Like, we don't have the.
That's actually a Ryan question because I don't know the legality of that. Like, and honestly, like.
The legality is we have to take them off the front end. And
yeah, I don't think
you want
we
to
have,
plug into our back end. We can't stop you.
I don't think OpenSea can do that either, to be honest. Like, I think they're just freezing it on their front end. But, like, I don't know how I mean, maybe, like, part of the giving permission to OpenSea allows them to do that. But, like, I think my gut says they're just freezing it on their front end. But, like, I don't know how OpenSea's contracts work because they're not open source. So, like, maybe when you approve something on OpenSea, it gives them the ability to do that. And if that's true, that's not good that a centralized tech company owns that power. Yeah, I don't think like our smart contracts don't give us the ability to freeze NFTs. But like if something nefarious happens and the FBI shows up at my house, like it is coming off the interface. Like I'm not going to jail for people doing stupid shit on Universe.
Yeah, I mean, anything illegal will be pulled from the front end, hopefully very, very, very quickly. Beyond that, I think we can have DAO votes if people want to have certain content pulled. I don't have any clear specifications around what that would look like. But we ultimately can't stop like things moving through the contracts. If other places want to pop up and basically, offer those listings on their site. But through our
I think that was what what he was asking. He was basically saying that's like his point. I mean, we will like pull it off. Like if we get DCMA'd, like we're gonna comply. Like that's not our legal battle to fight on behalf of the whole industry. If you want to launch your own marketplace and plug into our protocol, like go right ahead. But we're not gonna show it on ours if we have to respond to a DCMA. Because otherwise they'll just hit Amazon with the DCMA and the whole marketplace goes down. This isn't like pure on anarchy. We still have to live by the rule of law. But yeah, I think it's a really good question because I have never considered in my life that how sketchy that is that OpenSea can freeze people's property.
I think they can actually move NFTs too.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate on what OpenSea can and can't do, just because I'm not 100% sure personally. But you know,
We can tell you what we can do, and I mean, trust and verify. Like you can go look for yourself if the contracts are open source.
Right, and I think creators who Universe should not worry about their content just being pulled one day. If for some reason your content is questionable or up for debate, whether it's like pornographic or whatever it may be, and people want to have a vote around it, you'll have the opportunity to have a say and basically come up with a reason why you believe it should stay and should live on Universe, and it'll ultimately be up to the community because it's a DAO, and I think that's how I think it should be, and I think everyone kind of agrees. All right, I would hope so.
All right, Mr. Stacks has a question. Are there future plans for Metaverse collaborations, get NFT land listed on Universe Marketplace? I kind of talked about that, like with the fluff burrows, like adding a button to allow you to like jump, like leap right in. I don't understand why like Metaverse Land doesn't already have more buttons where you can just like click right in. Like obviously crypto voxels, you can like go and click on the link like on OpenSea and then it brings you to crypto voxels, but like I think you should have a button that just deploys you like directly into that piece of property, like so you could do like a 360 walkthrough, like the same way that people do like real estate viewings now because of COVID. Like I mean, we're going to definitely try to integrate cool stuff like that just like puts you through a portal right through to where you need to be. And, but essentially, I mean, we're going to partner with them and do our best to do what they want because I'm sure these projects want like features like that added too, like we haven't even thought of. So we'll see what they want to do as well. But yeah, we do have plans on collaborating with a lot of different groups. I mean, being able to rent out an asset for the metaverse with EnderDAO and putting that on our interface because you own a crypto voxels plot or you own a Jadu jetpack and you want to rent that out to someone in the metaverse. That's really powerful. And then something also that's extremely powerful that I think is going to bootstrap the metaverse is the fact that we're a liquidity layer protocol is like in a metaverse, you can now we have built the contracts that you can now plug into. Like you can now buy something off the wall and they have these crypto voxels and Decentraland are going to have to integrate with our backend, but they can just create a widget now in the metaverse and that is going to connect to our smart contracts and you'll be able to make a sale. Because anyone that is in some of the current metaverses, they know that you have to actually leave, crypto voxels or some of these sites to actually make the sale. I think it's super powerful to be able to buy something off the wall. And essentially our smart contracts are something that is going to make that possible. It's just we're going to have to see them integrate and partner with us on those. Will there be a dark mode? I think we have a dark mode. It just might not be coded yet or live on whatever you're looking at, but I'm pretty sure there's a dark mode and it's designed. Okay, well, it'll get made. Dark mode is on the way.
Yeah, we should have had that pushed at launch. I don't know why we didn't.
It's because technically we're not even launched right now, so everyone right now has exclusive early access to the beta, and this is essentially an early look of what. I mean, this is like bare bones. I'm not gonna lie. We have a lot of shit coming, and some of our minting contracts we really are not gonna say what they are, just because of how unique and cool they are. We don't want people trying to front run us on what we've done. And Tim Kang has been crushing it on writing. He's literally the smart contract god. he has just created some really, really creative and interesting minting contracts that we're going to be plugging in very, very soon. And we have some really, really awesome. I mean, like we have like 3 or 4 types of NFT minting that nobody has ever seen before.
Someone bought my ETH lizard on this call from Universe.
Damn, someone bought Tyler's ETH lizard. Welcome to the ETH lizard family. I changed my background to an ETH lizard today.
That's the first sale on the marketplace from the community.
Let's go, Tyler. GG's.
The DAO earned like 0.005 ETH in fees or something like that.
Dude, that's so.
You're on the team, fella.
Okay, people. Okay, I'm reading YouTube videos that are boring and instructional. Okay, this is all pretty good. Thank you, JVK. These are all really good ideas. Okay, thank you, Fluffernutter, for listing your fluffs. We appreciate you. But honestly, if you're selling fluffs, you're probably not going to make it. But I know you have like probably 30 fluffs. So maybe you should consider, I guess listing them it's good to help. It's going to help. Okay, everyone can help by speaking up a bit about the power of Universe XYZ. Thank you, knowledgeable idiot. I think, the power goes back to that, the whole thing that we're a DAO and we're all in control together. And, we're in this together. We're going to build this marketplace together. We built the bones. Let's get the flesh going. And I think all of us need to do that together. We can't do it by ourselves. At this point, we need the community to help push this thing. The best marketing is having people with large following on Twitter that are legit. We have some legit people that we can have promote the marketplace. And we'll work on that, James F. Okay. There's just a lot of chatter. I'm not sure if these are questions. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to read through all this. We're getting a lot of questions, but some of it is discussion and responses to things that we've asked. Well, I'm not really seeing questions. It looks like more responses. Okay. Is Universe going to offer a borrow against your NFT feature? No. We are not, but maybe we can integrate something like that if someone else wants to I mean, we can use someone else's API and plug it into our interface, but we weren't going to build a borrowing platform for NFTs. Okay, when Android, Apple app. Just so you know, we were going to build an app and we stopped. We decided it was not worth the time, effort, or money. And the reason is because if you see OpenSea's app, it's just a view only app. Like it's not going to drive it's not going to drive sales. And honestly, you can't, there's like rules that you can't sell things in crypto like on the Apple marketplace. They have all these weird laws. And basically you're like violating the rights to their contract agreement and all this stuff. So, I mean, like Gnosis Safe like got into a legal suit with them. And it just seemed like more of a headache to try and build this thing. That's partially why OpenSea is just view only. So right now we're staying away from it, but I mean, like if things change with Apple, which I don't see happening, unless they want to like allow more crypto adoption, I think it would help with apps, definitely. But I mean, essentially, it's more of a it's like more of a barrier to entry because of our industry to get to build an app that functions the way that we would want to build it.
Hypothetically though, we could create an app to display a lot of cool stuff for you guys that pulls you to a browser on your phone if you did want to buy something. I'm just saying hypothetically, not saying we're already creating that.
Yeah, that might be alpha, honestly. But what would I know? Okay. Too much overhead to keep it up to date with all the device and no functionality. I mean, dude, it's really not like about that. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have said the money because like I don't think it would be that crazy of a build because I mean, maybe it would. I mean, like a view only app is going to be much cheaper to build than a fully functioning app, right? And us on the team, we really had discussed this. Like we're going to build an app. Like we had apps in the Slack channel, and we were going to build it. And like we just at one point, like we were trying to figure out the legal stuff, and we were just like, this is too much of like jumping through hoops to figure this out. And then if we do somehow figure it out, like we're just gonna like Apple could just shut us down at any minute. So it was not so much more like any type of like uprunning costs. It was just more like where do we need to focus and like is this really a priority and is this really going to drive like universe? Like I mean like we just don't really see the OpenSea app as being like such a great innovation that it like sent OpenSea soaring, you know, like we didn't think that it was worth our time and effort at the time. I mean, if the community wants an app that's view only, we can vote for it and we'll get it built. I mean, it's essentially up to the community for everything. I mean, we can literally decide on anything together. So I think that's the power of the DAO and the OS app I use to check floors. Yeah, I mean, that's dope. I guess that is worth it as a consumer like use case that if it helps. I mean, we'll look into it again. I mean, if the community wants it, we can talk about it. I'm all for it. It's just we decided we didn't think it was necessary at the time.
There probably won't ever be an app for the marketplace, but like, yeah, I'm not going to leak alpha, but the way I don't think, all I'm saying is that I'm personally in favor of an app releasing, but definitely it won't be one where you can buy NFTs on it. And it won't be like the OpenSea one either, where it's just a fork of our marketplace. If we were to release an app, it would provide like insight and it would. I mean,
Yeah,
this is the thing about
like,
having your wallet on your phone is that's a security risk. So us releasing an app that insinuates that you should have your wallet on your phone is actually us basically trying to tell people that they should set their wallet up to be at risk. So it's really better for these apps on the phone to be view only just because of the fact that you're not putting your wallet at risk. even if it did route you to MetaMask to like buy it and it didn't happen on the app, hypothetically, we're still basically insinuating that you should have your wallet on your phone, which is really bad advice. So
Also,
I just
you
think
can't buy
overall
and
it's
sell because
probably better
Apple
for you
won't
guys to be
allow
doing
it.
transactions on the computer. So like even if we were to release an app, it would be totally view only.
But I mean, Silo's an app, and they'll probably integrate into Universe. The truth is, anyone on this call that has the ability to build something could probably legitimately go raise VC funding and build a application and take a finder's fee by plugging into Universe. If y'all want real alpha, like if I didn't have so much else on my plate, if I was going to start a company, I'd probably do that and have that application be a wallet that could plug into Universe.
PG, your question of if we'll accept credit cards or PayPal or Venmo or any of that stuff, we're not a company and we can't accept US dollars. There are a few like businesses set up around Universe that like maybe we could potentially explore those options, but Universe XYZ DAO is not going to be accepting any type of US dollar payment. Like we'll accept USDC and DAI, crypto forms of the US dollar, but us being a United States company, or not being a United States company, we can't actually accept that.
There are like some things that are working on that though. Somebody else is gonna.
Yeah, some people are working on that though, and we have some plans of ways that we might be able to do it. But essentially, Universe will not be. But we may be able to set something up so that we can offer that. But it won't be Universe XYZ DAO accepting the money. Okay, we answered this. You'll also have USDC and DAI as currencies that will be used. Means yeah, I don't think anyone's really too worried about the app, but I mean, we'll talk about it like as a community. And then, yep, 1.69 is the fee for the marketplace. We decided that because, you know, what better to do when you build a dope-ass marketplace than to just put a cherry on top that's actually a meme and just put a little 6.9. We were going to do 6.9 420, but, you know, we wanted to make it simple.
What as the finder's fee? So like.
Oh, I think the finder's fee comes
Tell
out
Tyler we can't
of
really hear him that well.
1.69. Tyler said it's all good. What is the vesting schedule for the remaining tokens? I think it's 104 weeks, and we're in week like 30 something. It hasn't even been a year, so we'll say 30 something off the top of our head is what week we're in out of like 100, 104. I don't think there's any incentive for using XYZ as a currency. We just wanted to make it as an option because it's our token. And we thought it'd be dope. Does anybody have any other questions? I think we have gotten to the end of our list. When decentralization video. I'll talk to Ivan and we'll see if we can get that cranked out in the next few weeks, and me and Zach will work on all that copy and get our founders to review it and make sure everything is to T, and we will get that out to you guys.
I actually have a question for someone. This Lindy person asked something that I don't understand. Like, what access points to wallet, Zapper, Rainbow Wallet, etc., all that. We're on Zapper already. I'm not saying that that's answering your question, but I'm wondering like what is your vision for like an integration with Zapper or Rainbow Wallet? You know what I mean? Like how is
Um,
Rainbow Wallet for
I
the
know what he's
market?
asking, so let me just answer this. Essentially, Genie and Gem are about to integrate with us, and I was at a party a few weeks ago, and I met some of the OpenSea guys, and like I even mentioned to them, like, yeah, like we'll give anybody a founder's fee if they plug into our liquidity, and like the OpenSea guys seem very interested in even plugging into our liquidity and bringing more listings to their marketplace. And essentially, that is possible. Like like those aren't like that's not like a set in stone thing, but like we are having those conversations with other marketplaces and other Web3 um, teams like Jim and Genie. So, that founder's fee is super powerful, and that comes out of the universe fee that comes out of our pocket, not anyone else's. But essentially, we think that's going to drive a lot of liquidity. And essentially, if like OpenSea was to plug into our protocol and they have a listing, or they sell one of our listings, then we both, would make something from that. And I think that needs to be the angle, is really anybody can plug into Universe. Like, I don't really see why they wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I guess what I was wondering is just basically like, what would Zapper do? Could you go on Zapper and you can trade your NFTs on Zapper? You're saying
I mean,
basically?
maybe, yeah. I mean, you could build a front end that you could build an NFT version of Zapper that plugs into universal liquidity. Like you can build your own marketplace for your own NFT project and list it through the Universe protocol contracts, and it's going to get listed on Universe. And then if OpenSea is plugged into that contract too, it'll get listed on OpenSea. So like that's the power of the protocol, is like list it one place and it fucking gets listed everywhere. I mean, like in sales, most people are like, oh yeah, you need all points of contact. Well, what if you just go list a NFT on one marketplace protocol and it lists it on 6 marketplaces? It doesn't matter like where that NFT really gets sold if it's getting sold on Universe's contracts. But essentially, that's what we built. We didn't just build a marketplace like OpenSea. And we are going to give all those docs out. I mean, like we have them published, or I don't think they're published, but we'll push publish soon, and anyone will have those APIs. If you guys have any projects, that y'all want to plug in to the liquidity, you can reach out to me and Ryan, and we can try to get you guys some of those endpoints. Will there be a rarity chart for?
What we should give a grant to the first project that builds and open sources and documents launching a custom marketplace.
No, he's not.
Universe.
Dead ass.
We should give a grant in XYZ to the first project that does that.
Oh, good.
Jesus.
I think that it makes sense, Tyler. Like, but yeah. Of course, Tyler's saying we don't vote on it, but yeah, that's a good idea.
Right. How will you decide which NFTs show on the home screen? All right, this is something that we have not decided on as a team.
It's going to be community based, though, whatever the decision is. The
Yeah,
only thing
whatever
that has
this
to be decided on
means
is a way that's not exploitable. Like, we need to make sure we come up with a way that isn't exploitable, where people can like take advantage of the system that we set up for it, and are able to like get past people who actually deserve organic promotion and stuff. Like, we don't want it to be where we're just like cherry picking the projects that we just bought and pumping our bags. You know what I mean? We want it to be like fair. You know what
Yeah,
I
like we
mean?
don't want another Nate situation where people are gonna be like, oh, like you guys were picking NFTs. Like, we'll just openly let the community decide which ones, and then like no one will front run anyone because it'll just be public information in the Discord or whatever where people are like, oh, we're gonna add this one, let's add this one, then everyone agrees. And then your next question about like how will projects be verified is we're honestly not gonna verify projects. We're gonna start letting people. Hopefully they can.
That's not true. Verification
Yeah,
is
it
going to be
is
a part
true. We're
of
not,
Temple.
Nick, stop, bro. We're not verifying the projects. You're going to have to verify the contract address. We are not going to verify anyone in the first few months of this. If the community wants us to start verifying projects, we will vote, but like we had this conversation like before. Like we don't want to play favoritism, like, and also we think that people need to be verifying contracts. Like you want to verify a collection, check the chain because that's the safest and best way to do it. I mean, like learn how to read Etherscan and find the true contract and verify it. Like you go into the Bored Ape Discord, they have that contract address pinned. I mean, I don't care if an NFT collection is verified on OpenSea. Like, you should still be going and checking the chain and making sure that that's not a fake verification badge. Like, a front end is easily exploitable. And I mean, we've talked about this and I mean, it might not be people's favorite answer that we're not going to verify this and we might just sound like crazy people, but essentially, like, that's how you verify an NFT is by the contract address.
Yeah, but eventually, Mark's probably right that at first there won't be a system. And what Nick tried to bring up just now was something about that product that we keep leaking the name of and don't explain, and it was Temple. But we have ideas for this voting process, and that's not what Temple is. But it was just something that we talked about through that. But we have this idea for this voting process that happens fully on Snapshot. I'm gonna explain it. You basically anyone who holds XYZ will be able to make a proposal to get a collection verified. Then anybody who has XYZ can vote to verify that collection. Can vote to verify that collection. And if it passes a quorum, it gets verified. And this is really the best community-based method we've come up with so far without that can't be exploited. But yeah, like Mark said, we probably won't release anything until we know that it actually can't be exploited and it actually will work right. Because it's hard to test stuff like this without trial and error, and we don't want you guys to be our guinea pigs. Like we want to make sure whatever we put out for this whole verification, because that's a big topic in like any social media or entertainment anywhere that because NFTs are basically entertainment. So at this point, like we need to make sure we're not even going to use a checkmark badge because that doesn't even it doesn't fit our aura or brand or anything. And if we do verification, it's gonna be community based and it can't be something that is exploitable. It's not, and we're definitely not going to be saying, oh yeah, me and Mark decided we're going to verify this project today. Like that's not happening. It has to be on chain, like in some aspect, or like retrievable in some
Yeah, if
way.
you guys want to verify, if y'all want to verify collections, we can. I'm just saying, I'm not the one that's going to do it, and our team is not showing favoritism to any collections. Like we're not verifying fluffs, we're not verifying ASM brains. Like it's just we're not getting into this situation.
For now, we do advise, like Mark said, though, to always check on chain, double check the project's like social media pages and websites to find their actual contract address and double check on Etherscan and Universe that it's the right. the right contract address, because people are going to be minting. They're going to have free reign to mint on our platform, and once they mint, our scraper's pretty much going to like pick up those NFTs immediately. So those are going to be the ones that are showing up on the Universe Marketplace. So just always double check. We're going to be trying our best. Like, we have a report button. If you see fake pages and fake NFTs, you can report them and we'll take them down, because we don't want people buying fake.
Yeah, but the thing is like, how do you make it decentralized? And you gotta really think about, like, this is part of why we're not starting off with verification, is because we have absolutely no way to truly decentralize it with us just figuring out how it works. We need to figure it out as a community. And that was really my point, is like, we aren't going to have verification. People are going to have to check the chain, and like, we'll figure it out as a community. But
Well, the strategy I
our team
have
is
worked.
not going to do it
If we
ourselves.
only had XYZ holders voting and creating proposals, that's not really exploitable. But that one works. We just don't want to make that the way we do it, and then 10 days later we realize there was a better way. So yeah, we it's like our marketplace. Like, we don't want to just like release anything off of our first impression, thinking that we came up with the best idea, and then like, because like that'll happen in the community. Like, I know people who were really excited about this one fluff drop that I'm not
Dude,
going to name
the
specifically, and then it
right.
happened. But then it happened, and then everybody was like, "Oh, you guys did that wrong." And it was like, well, the same people saying we did it wrong were the same people saying right before that was the way we should do it, and they were excited. So I just feel like we're trying to just plan ahead to where like we don't all agree, even the community agreeing, and then like 10 days later we're all like, that actually wasn't the best way to do it. We should have done this. We really want to avoid that in every situation when we release anything, because that can happen. But yeah, you see everyone saying community verification is great. Gunner pointed it out. It can't be bottable. I think the way that we have come up with is not bottable. But is it fair? I don't know if it's fair to just make everybody hold one token to vote. But maybe it is. You know what I mean? So we just got to consider it more. I don't think that I think what Mark's saying about the whole contract address. Eventually we are going to have a way to make it easier for people to know what's legit and what's not, since anyone's going to be
The
able to
way
upload
that it's
anything.
legit is the contract address of the collection
Yeah.
is the
Like if
URL.
you have, like if you get on, I've been on these AMAs recently. It's been at least a month now, but Ledger was hosting AMAs like repetitively on the last month, and it was because people with Bored Ape kept getting scammed, and what they would say over and over. One of the kids even knew the contract address by heart. So like they would say, you need to be verifying this contract address. It's so easy to know you're not getting scammed in NFTs if you just look at the contract address. One of the Ledger founders literally doesn't own a Bored Ape and knows the contract address by heart because he's had to help so many people that got scammed and just didn't even realize this. So I do think that Mark's 100% right, that it's just such an easy thing for people to just know. And it's really the whole point of crypto. If you literally have the people developing these hardware wallets even saying it too, you're supposed to be understanding how Etherscan works and knowing how the contract address, like knowing I think Etherscan personally though could do a better job too. Like and MetaMask. Like what if when you went to buy a Bored Ape, MetaMask and Etherscan were like, had a name like this is the real Bored Ape collection, maybe even showed its volume on one of the websites. Like there's so many ways that MetaMask themselves could upgrade the UI, and Ledger is it's one of their something they're prioritizing. They really want to make it so that the UI for new users explains stuff to where you don't even need it to be verified on OpenSea, because on MetaMask and on the transaction it's telling you this contract address is this item. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the biggest things is that like it's not really, we're definitely going to have verification and it will be community driven. We're not going to rush into it, but Mark's right. Like overall we do need people learning what a contract address is, and if you're saying that the community is not smart enough to do that, well that's what's not good. It's not good. Like it's you guys are saying it's not good that we don't have verification right away. But what's really not good is that the community is so open to getting scammed. Like people need to learn more
Very
when they're doing this
uneducated.
stuff. You know what I mean? That's what's not good, is
Algie,
that people are so willing to jump into this without learning. People need to not do that as much. And it makes it hard for me to even recommend crypto to people and stuff, because I'm always afraid, like, until we get past this where like you recommend crypto to your friend and then there's a chance of getting scammed, which is happening not because of OpenSea. It's happening because of MetaMask not having a good interface that explains to people what the transaction they're signing is. In my opinion, that's like the biggest cause of it. Until there's upgrades in that end, I don't think that there's any chance that like it even will matter. Like people are still going to get scammed whether we have a check or not, the same exact way, because they don't know that they can literally just look at a number on Etherscan and see it's the right one.
Voro, you were trying to ask something. What were you?
I was gonna ask, where can we put I guess not like marketplace feature. Well, I guess it is a marketplace feature request for verification. Where can we push something to go ahead and propose a different solution? Thank you. I'll go ahead and put something up.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
You see what this person just said? He said that he doesn't know how to check the contract address. I just because you're saying that, I'm gonna like start annoying our team that we should make a video that explains how to check contract address, and I'm gonna annoy our team until they make that video, because that's huge. Like people need to know how to check that. You know what I'm saying? It could be a 5-second video, because
Yeah,
literally
like I didn't mean to
all
sound like a dick when I was like, yeah, people are gonna fucking have to learn this shit, but like,
we want to help them learn. Yeah,
like
Mark,
I talk,
that's
like I
not a
go
diss,
and talk in front of people, and they ask me, "What do you think the NFT space needs?" And I say, "I think we need more education. Like
Mark,
this is financial technology people have been building in DeFi. A lot of us learned how to use DeFi, but like we're talking about artists, and like they may not understand what is going on here, and we should be educating people on like how to protect their assets, and that, you know, if you just go click on a file, your assets are at risk. And then like it sucks. Like I heard someone say a few weeks ago, it's like getting rugged in crypto is your baptism in crypto. It's like, dude, that's fucking bullshit that we like are like, oh, sucks to suck, but this happens to everyone. Like I've never been hacked. Like I feel really bad for people who get hacked, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you got to like learn how to do this. I mean, it sucks you have to get burned to learn, but I mean, it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. Like we should be trying to educate people on this. And Tim has ideas on how we educate people in this space, and I mean, I have ideas, but we can't educate everybody. And I mean, that's the thing that sucks, is we have to lean on each other. But like checking the contract address shouldn't be this huge thing. That should just be something that we do, even if it's verified. Like, you know, if you go to OpenSea, you should still be checking that shit, just in case someone was able to hack their front end and make it look like this was a verified collection and people were buying Bored Apes or something. Like, it's not that hard to hack a front end. I mean, it depends which front end, I guess, but I mean, I wasn't trying to be a dick when I said that. I just said I think that, like, I think it's fair. I don't think it's a lot to ask for people to verify, go to an extra link and verify on Etherscan. But maybe I'm being inconsiderate.
I think there's a really good feature that comes with, or at least makes it easy if you go ahead and get a Grid Plus wallet. If you get a Grid Plus wallet, it kind of lays out exactly what you're interacting with, and then you can go ahead and highlight it, and then you can go ahead and just check to make sure on Etherscan that that's the exact one that you're interacting with.
So on our marketplace, we're gonna have it so that when you're viewing your NFTs or the collection, there's easy way to navigate without like hitting any extra buttons to get to the contract address. On our testing, I know some of you guys are testing. On our testing, this isn't set up fully yet. It is on the page end, but we still need to update the actual viewing, like when you hit my NFTs. But we're gonna make it so that when you are looking at your NFT, you're showing information about the collection, the owner, and the contract address. And this information about the contract address is what people need to start learning about collections they collect. And like, there's a million different ways to. It'll be so easy to verify that on Universe, but yeah, I'm gonna get them to make a video on how to find that on Etherscan. I think there needs to be way more educational content that gets released on every project's end. Like I really like that ledger competition the Fluffs just did. They made
we
these
gotta
like
wrap this
I'm
up.
gonna share those videos in our universe. I'm gonna share the video that won in our universe announcements and tell everybody to watch it just because it's such good information on how to stay safe in crypto.
Yeah, we can make educational videos. We're gonna wrap this up. I mean, this is an hour and a half, and we really shouldn't be doing these AMAs for this long because people stop watching them on YouTube, and no one wants to listen to these when they're this long. So we're gonna end this. But you guys had a lot of good questions today. Sorry if I sound exhausted, but we've literally been testing this marketplace for with no sleep for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, let me just make sure there's any other super good questions. It's just these are just kind of people arguing with me, I feel like. Dude, in 10 years, if people aren't checking the chain, I don't know. We've lost all hope for humanity at this point. The Bored Apes are going to still be losing their seed phrases and...
You guys rock. Get some sleep.
Thanks, guys. Good shit.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. We appreciate y'all. And go have